What's going on, family? It's been a while, I know. Charge it to my head and not my heart. Welcome back to my channel. Hey, y'all, I miss y'all so much. I don't even know what to say. I will always bring you in with peace, love, light, and joy. Y'all, I miss y'all for real. I just want to say it feels good to be on the other side of a test, of a storm, of anything that you felt like wasn't going in your favor. And when you get on the other side of it and you can feel God and feel the joy and feel the love despite the things that the enemy continues to try and push and press and make stick to you. Let me tell y'all, we not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not, y'all. Let me tell y'all, it's just so much has happened since the last video, and I just on my way to work, and I heard, that I needed to meditate because I've been really stressed out these last, it's been a while, but these last at least 3 days, I have been aware that I am extremely stressed and having to back out of some things because of the energy from others, the energy from myself. I'm not able to go through a storm too. It has been a lot. It has been a lot. But I'm thankful because God kept pushing me and I did what I needed to do. So much has happened. So God was just saying, just meditate. I'm like, okay, well, I need to meditate. What is a way that I can kind of calm down? And a lot of the times as a healer, I don't realize that me coming and giving you what I'm going through, how God has helped me through it, also helps me release the stress. Because I don't think that how many of y'all are like that, where we just don't acknowledge it in the moment? You know what I'm saying? And then, but if we're giving somebody else, we're telling somebody else the story, the encouraging parts. Because if you're just telling somebody your story and you're just like, everything is like, oh, this happened to me, this happened to me, this happened to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking for no pity party when I come on here. I'm looking to empower you. So in order to do that, then I have to first be empowered. So I said, okay, God, I'm gonna meditate. I put my music on and I started praying on my way to work. And then I was like, oh, shoot. I did tell my brother I was going to call him at 2:30. I called him. He said, if you call me and I don't answer, I'll hit you back. So he didn't answer. And I said, okay, God, I hear you. I put my headphones in and I started praying again and just praying over my heart and over my blood pressure and just the stress that I take on, the stress that I allow when there is no need, And then I drive past the park that I'm sitting at. And I look at my clock and it says 3:45, which is 2:45. But it's 2:42 because my clock is 3 minutes fast. And I don't have to be there until 3 o'clock. And if I get there anytime before 3 o'clock, there are not going to be any parking spaces. So I was like, wow, I didn't even realize that I had left the house that early. God does it for me every time. Every time I'm just like, oh, well, I'm just going to go. Here I am. Y'all, let me tell y'all. When you literally just let go and let God do it for you, unspeakable joy, okay? Unspeakable joy. It's just been so much. And the crazy thing is, half of it wasn't for me. But being the person that I am, I go way above and beyond to help the next, even when I don't have. But I don't get discouraged. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning how to continually implement boundaries and implement boundaries and implement boundaries and implement boundaries. And you know what I'm saying? Because people going to keep coming in your life and you going to pray for one thing and then somebody is going to come and they're going to check all of those boxes. And then over time, they're going to start to change. That doesn't mean that you have to stop loving that person, but that just means, okay, we have come to a stopping point right here. This is where I must start implementing boundaries, because now we're just not seeing eye to eye anymore. That's okay. That's okay. But what I was doing was taking that on for everybody, and I didn't have none for myself. I didn't have none for myself, making promises that I was not able to keep. And then when I'm not able to keep those promises, I feel bad. Not just does the other person feel bad, and I'm going to feel your energy, but I feel bad, because what is it that I'm doing that I can't do what I said I'm going to do? Why is it that I'm asking God, not asking God like, why not? I'm asking God, okay, God, if this is not what I'm supposed to do, then show me. And he's like, I'm not asking you to take on all of that. I'm asking you to put some of that down. I led you to this place for a reason and a season. And now it's time to elevate past it. 5:55 on the camera. It's time to do something different. When you realize, okay, you've been doing something the same way, but now it's just not working anymore. You got to switch shit up. You got to start implementing boundaries. That's what I learned. I have to. I can't allow the same energy that I allowed before, because I want to be this person and I want to be blessed. You know what I'm saying? God is going to bless me regardless because of my heart. But if I feel like I have to do all of these things and I'm not listening to the voice of God, that is a message for somebody, because it was a message for me. If you are not listening to God's voice and you listening to what everybody else feels like you should do because of your own situation or to help them through their situation, baby, listen. If you can't lean on God and trust that God says sit down or stand up or move around or back up or just slow down, then you need to really sit and pause. You need to really sit and pause and ask God for a breath of fresh air and a clear mind. You know what I'm saying? It is spiritual warfare going on each and every day. If you are not praying over yourself and your life, these things that we want, I'm trying to move. Me and my partner are trying to move into a bigger house, into a whole different state. We're trying to do something big, but at the same time, that doesn't mean that God is saying stop doing what he has called us to do. My neighbor got kicked out. He called us to go over there and help her. She has been staying at our house for the last 2 weekends. When God says enough is enough, because we still got things to do, enough is enough. And you can't feel bad about it. You have to say, thank you, God, for allowing me to be a vessel to help somebody else in their time of need, and not look for anything to come from it except your blessings, and those only come from God. You can't look I can't look to my neighbor to put in on the bills or help out or do any of that. That's not what I invited her in for. I invited her in to let her know that God loves her, and no matter the situation, because when I got put out, somebody who I didn't know opened their door for me, and I knew exactly how that felt. I had to do the same. I had to show God that I'm about that life. If the shoe were on the other foot, he said, would you do it for somebody else? Before I bless you, let me know. Show me your heart. And when I say it's time to go, it's time to let go, it's time to stop doing that, it's time to let this person fly, then you're going to have to trust that. And I do, wholeheartedly. And so I come to you today hoping to plant seeds of encouragement so that you just keep going. You make your life a living and moving prayer. That's the only way you're going to get through it. There is no amount of any object in this world that will save you than prayer itself. Prayer is the most powerful. The absolute most powerful. When I first started my spiritual journey, last story real quick. When I first started my spiritual journey, I had moved into the house that I was living in before I moved in with my partner. First house ever. And I had went to the metaphysical store that I typically, I used to typically shop at. I don't really shop there anymore, but I went to go get some sage and some palo. I didn't really know what I was doing, but I knew what I was doing. I'm like, we in the hood. I need to cleanse this place. I know that I've read into it enough. Will y'all know that God did not allow me to get that sage? And I'm just sitting here and I was so upset. I didn't have the gas money to get out there in the first place. I didn't know where I was going. Still newer to St. Louis. Just to come back and not be able to have it. And I felt so defeated. I felt like the enemy was just going to get in my house and just be. But God said, no, before you turn to the tools and things, I need you to fully commit yourself to me. I need you to actively, all the time, pray for yourself, pray for your family, pray for your neighbors. And love wholeheartedly and be patient and wait on my voice. So yeah, y'all, just if you in the period of waiting, in the period of you just feel like, spiritual attack after attack after attack after attack, the best form of protection is prayer. And be intentional and speak it out. Say it out loud with your voice. Do not be afraid. The enemy cannot come and do nothing that God can't stop in its tracks. So I love you. I hope this message touches somebody's heart and soul today deep, so that you can just look at yourself and smile and be like, if that wasn't nobody but God, there is no way I would have made it. No, absolutely no way. But I'm glad that you did, and I'm glad that you're here. I will always send you guys with peace, love, light, and joy. Till next time, family. Toodles.